Man Nation podcast with me, your host, Vincent Jefferson, and today's topic is going to be emotional men. I have a special guest in the building today, my good partner and my friend, Christopher Nash, world-renowned entrepreneur from Greece. He's going to come in. I'm going to let him introduce himself, but he's going to come in and tell us why men are more emotional than women. Go ahead and tell the people about yourself, Mr. Nash.
Well, I'm an entrepreneur. Been an entrepreneur now for 35 years. And we're here to talk about emotional men. And it's a topic that I feel like need to be shed on it. And I personally think that men are more emotional than women. However, they hold it in. They hold it in because, a man thing. And I personally think that holding it in can cause so many different troubles. And just, imploding and exploding at the wrong time. And it's just best to talk about it, and if you gotta cry.
Well, I know me and you, we talk a lot at the barbershop about this. And I say women are more emotional. But I know you said men are more emotional. Why don't you let the family know why you think men are more emotional than women?
Well, I personally feel that women are emotional, and we think because they cry. They can cry on the drop of a dime because they're women. And it's acceptable. And so they let it out. Versus men, we hold it in because we were taught not to cry. And I just feel like that could be detrimental. I read the Bible on occasions, and King David, he wept. His Psalms, he basically was singing and crying.
That's a good point.
Jesus wept. I'm not saying cry over, just anything, but just stuff that's, just very touching and emotional. But don't stay in that emotion, because I know people stayed in that emotion, and it was life-threatening.
Life-threatening?
Yeah.
What do you mean by life-threatening? I know a lot of men. I agree with you that men are emotional, and I think it's two categories when I think of men and women being emotional. Let me just elaborate. I think women are emotional on more things, far as the way they act or the way they carry themselves or the words they say or certain things. I think women are more emotional in that aspect, but I think men are more emotional when it comes to actions and violence. Because I watch a lot of stuff on TV where, I don't know if you watch true crimes or things like that, when it shows all these men killing these women over things like that. So I do agree men are emotional, and I think men do need to release more, but I'm still leaning towards the women are more emotional in more areas than the men. But we're going to let you decide, family, at the end of the podcast. But go ahead and give me your thoughts on that.
Well, I agree with what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. What I mean by emotional men is that we hold on to that. We hold on to that emotion, and instead of letting it out, but letting it out constructively. We
need the bombs on that. That was a good point.
Work out, go meditate, just step away for a while, go walk, things of that nature. But some men, they'd rather run to alcohol, drugs, sleep with different women, just things that at the end of the day cause more problems. And I think men we should talk more. We should just open up. Just open up. And like I said, if you gotta cry, you gotta cry. You got tipped up for a reason.
But we've been taught, like, I grew up in the hood in Jackson, Mississippi. I mean, me growing up in the hood in Jackson, Mississippi, I ain't seen too many young men cry, no old men cry. So I think that's one of our problems. I think we do need to let out our emotions in a more constructive way. But for people like me and other people who've never seen men do that, or actually maybe they even seen kids do that, growing up in certain environments, I mean, how do we get around it? Or how do we, bring ourselves to let these emotions out at this stage in our life?
Well, I've seen real men cry, and I've seen real men cry in prison, and I've seen real men cry about some valid things, about not being able to see their kids or talk to their kids. Not over a movie, but that could be touching, but it's just important, that we need to be emotionally intelligent. And I just know some people that weren't emotionally intelligent and let their emotions get the best of them, and they're no longer here. Being incarcerated. And that's the thing. Just be emotionally intelligent. And we don't need to hold on to that emotion. We need to call somebody, or if you can't, step outside and talk to the Creator. Center yourself. And know this too shall pass.
Wow, that's deep, brother. But let's try to reach some of these young men, because I like to try to empower people. That's like I just said though. I'm 16. I'm in the hood. I'm gang banging. I got all the influences around me. I don't know God. I don't know my father. Like I said, I haven't seen a man or had a role model to teach me how to be a man, or to teach me how to release my emotions, I guess, in a positive manner. So that's what I'm saying. I'm hearing what you're saying, but just imagine I'm that 16-year-old that's in the street gang banging, stealing and robbing, ain't got his father, ain't got no role model. What would you tell him, about how to release his emotions and to stop doing what he's doing and to bring that into a positive light?
Green-eyed and bright at 18, a face from mainstream, a walking daydream. They scream, sweet life of peaches and clean. No.
Well, what I would show him is, hey, let's go play some basketball. Let's go play catch with a baseball, and get to know him like that. Exert some of that energy, with some sports. And then just have a good talk. And show them that you care. And just be that figure in their lives. Because, they searching for love and guidance. A lot of times searching for it in the wrong places.
You can't prepare, huh?
And attention. So, give them some attention. And just show them that you care. And do what you can. If you're in a position to do something for them, do it. Whatever it is. Just let them know. And be an example. Tell them your story. And if you got to show them some pictures, show it. But be that example.
That was a good answer, man. And the reason I asked that, because I'm in the city, all around, most of the times in the inner city, renovating these houses. And I run into a lot of young men out here walking around with their pants hanging off their butt, don't been locked up, they're on probation, got to go back to court, they're in the system now. And a lot of times I be trying to do some of the things you said and mentor them and put them back on, I guess, the right path or the right mind frequency. And, And I ain't gonna lie to you, it's hard, man. It's hard. So that's why I'm glad you're here to kind of, enlighten me and others on maybe how to help them release some of those emotions. Because
Nice.
a lot of men didn't have their father. I don't even know my father. And that hurt me for a lot of years. And you're absolutely right. I had a problem releasing that emotion. And I know I'm not the only man that felt that. And that's just one example of the emotions I held in. So I agree with you, and I got with the wrong crowd and the wrong people and doing the wrong things and went to jail a couple times and things like that. But I'm glad I was able to redirect my life and get back on the right path. And that's one thing we want to try to do here with our young men and older men. We want to try to get them ways to get back on the right path. That's why we're coming here to talk to you today. Because, if you're dealing with some things, you're holding in some emotions, my good friend Chris right here, he got a lot of good ideas about how to release them emotions. And you release them emotions, it's kind of like taking the pressure off you.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Taking weight off your shoulders, then you can kind of move forward from that situation. I know my father passed, I think, a couple years ago. I'm just telling you about me, family. I ain't got no secrets to hide. My father passed a couple years ago. I didn't even know it. I don't even know the man. My sister called me and told me. And she was like, well, how you feel about it? I was like, I don't feel no type of way, really. I never knew him. But I said some other key words that we're going to keep it family friendly that I ain't going to say right now. But, I just had to release and let it go. I didn't cry. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel no reason to cry. I can't cry over a man I never knew. But that was one of those emotions I had when I was growing up. Like, where's my father at? Maybe things would be different in my life when my father were here. Maybe I'll know how to handle it with these bullies at school, or these gangbangers, or these drug dealers, or these pimps and these hoes. So I'm bringing all this out because I know some of these young men are out here right now dealing with the same issues that I had to deal with. And we want to get them a path and an avenue out. So that's why my good buddy Chris here to help me with that. Go ahead, Chris, what you think?
Yeah, I understand. I had a father growing up. My dad was my football coach. We live in this suburban area. Back then, you call it upper middle class. However, I made a choice to get out here in the street. I did about 16 years in some hardcore prison. But I always carried myself well, and I always carried myself the same way I'm carrying myself now. Because I know I was raised a certain way, and I held on to that. I wasn't going to be a victim of circumstance. We all learn a lesson. But once again, it's a choice. People come from the hood that actually seen things happen and said, "Oh man," became senators. You got some from the suburbs and did some things. I'm like, you was raised better than that. But it's all a choice. And prison didn't make me a bitter person. It made me a better person.
Well, tell me how prison made you a better person. I'm sure the people want to know, the family want to know.
They just taught me a lot about myself. In isolation, get to know yourself and review your life.
Okay.
And, it can go both ways. You use it as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block.
I rarely hear a lot of men say that about prison.
Use it as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. I mean,
that's powerful.
It's always, when I used to tell guys, it's a phase I'm going through. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Use it as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block.
You could be in the belly of the beast and not partake.
Drop the bomb for him one time, ladies and gentlemen.
And that takes a lot of, discipline and a lot of self-awareness. But once again, it's all a choice. We all have choices.
Right. Right.
You know, consequences, whether they're positive or negative. But it's all for the good if you look at it that way.
Well, I
Give
think.
thanks in all things because it's all for the good.
Well, now you finna start preaching.
I'm not preaching, I'm just saying because it makes sense.
Right.
It's all a learning lesson.
Right.
Just learning a lesson.
Mm. Well, I'm glad I learned some easier ways.
And actually, it is easier.
What you mean?
The easier way. See, what we think is easy at the beginning gets hard at the end, but what's hard at the beginning gets easier as you go.
Mm.
It's like lifting weights. It's hard at the beginning, but you keep working out, it get easier. Then you want to put some more weight on. Give me some more. I can handle it. And then it gets easier. You don't really want too many things that's easy. Nah.
Yeah.
Okay. You know,
Man, I'm about-
you want a little challenge there, because there's growth in that.
Man, you came prepared, ain't
There's growth in that. It's like lifting weights. It challenges it. Your muscles grow.
it? Right.
Challenge your mind. Challenge your brain. Your brain is a muscle.
Well, I do that all the time, man. I do a lot of self-evaluation on myself, seeing how I can improve myself in all aspects of life and how I can actually help others. You know, we talking about the emotional men. I think if they take time to, self-reflect on themselves and deal with the emotion, or maybe even something we haven't mentioned yet, maybe go get some counseling.
That too. And surprisingly, there's a lot of guys that I know that out here, did time. They on Facebook and social media saying they're gonna go, get, to the counselor, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's what you choose to do it. My way of doing it is I meditate. I got my relationship with the Creator, the universe, and nature. What don't kill you should make you stronger. Keyword should. And you stand on that.
Well, what advice can you give? Because I know it's a lot of, in our community, in the Black nation, I know it's a lot of domestic violence going on. And when we're talking about emotional men, and a lot of men kind of losing control and putting their hands on our Black queens. So what kind of way can you tell our Black brothers? And let me be fair. These women will make you want to put their hands on you now. I'm just going to be honest with you, but we have to find a better way as a community in dealing with that, though. That's not right in no sense. Unless she's attacking you, I don't think that's right for our brothers to lose control and put their hands on a woman to a certain degree, unless she's attacking you and you're defending yourself. But I know a lot of that's happened. I see it in my family's relationship. I see it in my friends' relationship. I see it in my workers' relationship. So I know it's happening. You probably know it's happening too. And we're talking about emotional men. I think these are some of the things we was talking about in the barbershop. And so how can our men better cope with a situation like that when they're getting in their emotions and they're getting ready to go too far and put their hands on one of these young ladies?
First, you got to think. Play the tape all the way through. Because it won't stop right there. It's only going to get worse. Mind you, should nobody put their hands on nobody, because a man can hurt a woman just like a woman can hurt a man. And you just gotta think. You gotta be like, this is not gonna end well. It's gonna get worse and worse and worse before it gets better. So my suggestion is, once again, step away, take a walk. Take a walk in the neighborhood. you know, let her know you still around, because that could be a problem you get in your car. You know, but communicate to a degree, and just let things kind of.
But you saying take a walk. When you take a walk and come back, she's still there. Then the mouth might start right back up.
Or then you may have to just leave. You know.
Cause I know
Talk about it later.
I don't try some of the old methods, taking a walk, you know, get in the car, go and drive. When I come back, that dragon's still right there breathing fire. So
She need anger management.
I think a lot of women do, but they won't admit it. And because I just see a lot of brothers dealing with that. Then if we're talking about emotional men, they go too far. And some of these brothers end up getting arrested. Now their record messed up. They got to go do all this stuff in the courts and probation. Now it's hard for you to get a job because now you got to charge. And you have to ask yourself, was it all worth it?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely. But it's too late then.
But once again, it's all all emotions, and we have to be emotionally intelligent. I mean, people might say it's easier said than done, but it's easier done than said.
Wow.
You know, you walk away and you know you've conquered that emotion like that. Yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful. And men should focus on that because it's powerful. It's self-control. Self-control, self-discipline, and that's power in it.
Well, I think one thing that I'm learning as being almost 50 years old is that if and when I get to that point, if it keeps continuing, what I've learned is I need to walk away for good and not go back. That's what I'm learning. If I'm having an issue with a young lady and things are escalating and I'm talking to her about it, trying to do everything I can to try to de-escalate it, and we're trying to work it out. And if I feel myself getting brought to a certain level, at some point, and I think other men too, when you see it, it's not no change or not no working it out. And before you get ready to go push to that other level, you probably just need to pack your stuff and leave. You know, if there's no, it's a little different if you're married, you know, but you have to try to work that out. But before you put your hands on a woman to hurt them in such a physical matter, I think it's best that you control your emotions, like you said, and just pack your stuff and leave. Because at the end of the day, it's not worth it. And then you go too far and do more than hurt or beat her. You put her 6 feet deep, then it's over with. That's why. I just say sometimes it's just, if you know you can't work it out, be the bigger person. And we talking about emotional men, and this is happening all the time. I say, and me personally, I'm just gonna pack my stuff and leave before it even go there.
I agree. And a lot of times, I think men want to do that, but they feel like if they leave, it's going to get worse. But the best thing to do is leave.
How it's gonna get worse if you leave? You ain't around no more.
Right, because you know, she may think, you know, you going over some other female house, you know, and then it's just more things and more stuff. And then you might have your stuff there, you know, just a lot of stuff they could be thinking in their head, be like, you know, I'm left out here like this, and I got all this going on over there. You know, but the best thing to do is to leave and leave it there.
Yeah, you still got your freedom, you still got your sanity. Hey, those are two good things to leave with.
Yeah.
Right there.
It is.
Yeah. I will say I've been in jail a couple of times. I don't like the food. I ain't trying to go back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, what else you like to add about the emotional men?
Like I said, just be emotionally intelligent, focus on that, and it's power in controlling yourself, and you just gotta play the tape all the way through. You just gotta know, you know, you got I've been in that situation before, and you know, it doesn't end up well. And those are experiences that you've experienced before. You know, what makes you think it's going to be anything different? It could be worse, you know. So, you know, it's a real thing.
Oh yeah.
It's a real thing. And social media doesn't make things better
Oh
in
man.
relationships, because now they're looking on the phone and seeing all this and, you know, what people doing. And they may not be doing that. Most of them aren't, you know, doing, you know, they just put the good things, not put the bad things.
I think social media is hurting our community.
It's hurting a lot of things, and it's entertainment, okay? And they trying to get their views up. So you can't sit up there and compare and contrast.
I think that's what they're doing, though.
Stay focused on your relationship, your household, and build.
But how? I talk to women. I'm not married, and a lot of these women, especially the younger women, they trying to emulate these rappers and say they want to be like these rappers and look like these rappers or these movie stars, and they bring all that stuff home with them. And the man got to deal with that. And I know it's supposed to be entertainment, but I don't think men or women are separating it and leaving it entertainment. I think they bringing it home with them and trying to live that lifestyle. What you think?
No, you're correct. And I think that you're being influenced instead of being an influencer. You know, yeah, that's what I think.
I actually think.
Are you a follower or you a leader? You know. So you gotta ask yourself that.
I think most people are followers.
Most people are.
Right. But I just think with the rap music, the movies, the social media, it's not too much positivity out there when it comes to men and women in relationships and how to deal with emotions and certain things going on. You know, you hit it on the head. When we watching these videos and movies and these social media clips, it's there for entertainment. It's not there for you to emulate and take in your house and try to act out or try to live the lifestyles of these people. A lot of these people are actors, and that's not really their life, but that's what you want. And I meet a lot of women who try to be like these people on TV. And no matter how superficial it is, you're expecting a relationship to work when you're trying to emulate a fake character or a rapper or some movie star or some social media influencer. You got your own life to live. You got your own relationship, your own man that you need to be compromising with and working it out. And vice versa, the man, his own woman, they need to be compromising and working it out. You need to leave all that stuff to entertainment and deal with your own house and what's going on in there. Because trying to be like these rappers ain't gonna get you nowhere. And it just amazes me. Even when you talk to the people, the young women and the old women and the men, they don't want to hear it. And you know, it's such a hard thing trying to penetrate through the social media area to get to our people. So we have to break through the rap. We have to break through the music. We have to break through the movies. We have to break through the social media to even get to them, to get them the information. Because there's so much negativity out there. That's why we need more podcasts and more people pushing positivity and pushing marriage and the right things to do and how to cope with one another and how to control the anger in emotion and in men. So how do you think we break through to reach the people?
You just got to look at it as just pure entertainment. Entertainment. That's it. And really, to be honest with you, don't entertain yourself with that. You know what I'm saying? Entertain yourself with what you got going on. You know, that's just how I look at it. You know, when I listen to music, don't influence me. I listen to the beats. Also, it sounds good. You know, okay, a good artist. You know, I look at actors, a great actor. You know, you got to look at it that way because that's what it is. And if you want to be that, be that. But don't let that come into your house and say, hey, you know, you don't have this, and that person got that, and who knows they really got that? You don't know what they're going through.
Right.
You know, you see what you see. And like I said, it's just optical illusions.
Mm.
You know, and you just got to look at it as just entertainment and focus on yourself and focus on what you got going on.
All right, that's a good point, Chris. Well, we're talking about emotional men today here on the Empowering the Nation podcast. You know, we ain't talked too much about the women. We letting y'all slide a little bit tonight. We just really wanted to focus on the men. And like I still kind of feel like the women are more emotional. Maybe that's because I don't deal with men. I love women, so I probably don't. I'm gonna probably be a little biased there. You know what I'm saying? But I do see how the men get emotional and they kind of strike out and do things as well. You like to get some final thoughts, Chris?
Well, the reason why I say men they're emotional is because a lot of men run from responsibility. And I personally see it from my observation. I see a lot of women with the kids, and you know, a lot of men don't even take care of their own kids. And that's an emotion. That's not logical. It's not rational. It's your kid. You lay down and you know, created that. So
you say that's emotional that they run from the kids.
that's an emotion. That's not logical.
That's deep.
So, you know, be front and center. You know, and that's just how I look at it.
That's emotional today. The fathers are not there with the kids. That's emotional. Can you go a little deeper into that?
Well, you know, just actively with their kids, you know, interacting with their kids, you know, it's not just about, you know, sending some money here and there, you know, and really showing that love and that care and that attention. Yeah, and there's no one's perfect, okay? But you can strive for excellence. You can strive to be the best you can be. And just be there. You know, whichever way you can. Be there, like present.
Well, maybe you're right, because, you know, my daddy wasn't in my life, and I made it a point to be there in my son's life. Through thick and thin, hell, hot water, with no excuse on earth gonna stop me but death or prison. And I actually raised my son by myself for 18 years, and I got custody of him. So maybe you're right, Chris. Maybe it is emotional, because when I lacked my father, I wanted to make sure my son didn't feel that pain I felt. So maybe it is emotional. One up for Chris.
So you use that emotion for the good.
Right.
Emotion intelligent.
Right. What you say, to use it as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block?
Absolutely. You just got to focus on that. You got to focus on that, because that's what's going on out here now. A lot of people are driven by their emotions and not logic.
I do agree with you on that. Well, we're going to get ready to close out, but I'm going to let Chris Nash tell you a little bit about himself and some of the things he in and anything he want to promote here on the Empowering the Nation podcast. Go ahead and tell people what you want to know, Mr. Nash.
Well, you know, my name's Christopher Nash, so you'll see more of me.
You got any new projects coming out, movies coming out?
Yeah, I'm working on some movie sets. Yeah, they're keeping me busy.
Oh, okay.
I'm grateful for that. I got some things that, you know, I'm going to start working on.
Okay. Tell the people how can they reach you.
Time.
Tell the people how can they reach you or get in contact with you. If you want to give them any information, your Instagram, your email, your number.
Well, I'm a barber. I've been a barber for like 35 years. You can call me at 678-733-5789.
Yeah, he's a great barber. He a little hot now, but he's a great barber, though.
I'm fair.
He'll work with you. Any closing words, Mr. Nash?
Emotion intelligent. Just be grateful and be thankful And that's a good way of being emotionally intelligent. Being grateful.
Well, thank you for tuning in to the Empowering Nation podcast. If you enjoyed and you learned something, hit the like and subscribe button and share this video. And as we close, I want to say special thanks to my guest, Mr. Christopher Nash in the building. Y'all give him a round of applause, audience. And like we always say when we close, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Peace. We out.